Thank you for joining me. We are in A Course in Miracles workbook for students, part 2 of the workbook, lesson 255. And I'm being a risk taker doing this outside with the gusty winds from Irma. It's not too bad. Lesson 255. This day I choose to spend in perfect peace. It does not seem to me that I can choose to have but peace today. And yet my God assures me that His Son is like Himself. Footnote 61. This means that the Son, like God Himself, is at peace. Oops, sorry. Let me this day have faith in Him who says I am God's Son, and let the peace I choose to be mine today bear witness to the truth of what He says. Footnote 62, John 18:37. For this I was born, and for this I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth. In the above allusion, it is our peace that bears witness to the truth that we are God's Son. God's Son can have no cares and must remain forever in the peace of heaven. In His name I give today to finding what my Father wills for me, accepting it as mine, and giving it to all my Father's sons along with me. And so, my Father, would I pass this day with you. Your Son has not forgotten you. The peace you gave Him still in His mind, and it is there I choose to spend today. And now we will read the commentary by Alan Watson and Robert Perry. This is Robert Perry's commentary on the practice of today's lesson. Today is the first of 3 days of peace in part 2. The others are lesson 273 and 286. All are attempts to have a day of undisturbed peace, and all highlight the importance of our ability to have such a day. So really, give today to finding the peace God wills for you. Use your repetition of paragraphs 1 and 2 as a device for dedicating the day for this purpose. Practice frequently in the faith that this peace really is there, and that your practice can lay hold of it for you. Commentary by Alan Watson. Peace does not seem to be purely a matter of choice. It does not seem to me that I can choose to have but peace today. Our egos would have us believe that peace can be taken from us or given to us by things outside our minds. It is not so. If I am God's Son, and therefore like Himself, I have the power of decision, the power to simply choose peace. God says, it is so. Let me have faith in Him, and let me act upon that faith. Let me give it a try. Let me choose to spend this day in perfect peace. The more I determine to give today to finding what my Father wills for me, which is the peace of heaven, and accepting it as mine, the more I will experience that peace. I will probably also find a lot of things that pop up trying to disturb that peace. But I can respond to these things simply by saying, I would choose peace instead of this, or this cannot take away the peace my Father has given me. As I do this, the peace I choose and experience will bear witness to the truth of what He says. Remember, your mental state isn't perfect, nor is it expected to be perfect. You are in training. This is a course in mind training. When I practice guitar chords, especially new ones, at first placing my fingers in the right position takes a lot of concentration and effort. I am forced to break the rhythm of the song, slowing down so I can place my fingers just so. I don't expect to get it right every time. Getting it wrong and correcting myself is part of the training. Eventually, with time, my fingers start forming a habit pattern. They go more and more frequently to the right configuration to strike the chord without any buzzing or dead notes. The training period is a time of doing it wrong, doing it deliberately with conscious concentration until it becomes a habit I no longer have to think about. That is what we are doing in these lessons, practicing the habit of peace. Our aim today is to spend the day with God. We, His Son, have not forgotten Him, and our practice is witness to that fact. The peace of God is in our minds where He put it. We can find it. We can choose to spend our day there in peace with Him. We can do this. God assures us we can. So let us practice. Let us begin. Let us accept His peace as our own and give it to all our Father's sons along with ourselves. And if you'd like to close your eyes, we can move into the meditation of this lesson. This day I choose to spend in perfect peace. And so, my Father, would I pass this day with you. Your Son has not forgotten you. The peace you gave him still is in his mind, and it is there that I choose to spend today. And now we will enter into a silent meditation. This day I choose to spend in perfect peace. Thank you so much for joining with me in that meditation. And now we will read the What is Sin section. Paragraph 3, sentences 1 and 2. If you will please read this section in its entirety. 3. Sentence 1. Sin is the home of all illusions, which but stand for things imagined, issuing from thoughts which are untrue. They are the proof that what has no reality is real. And now I will read the commentary by Alan Watson. Our illusions come from or issue from our untrue thoughts. Illusions are not really things at all. They are symbols standing for imaginary things. They are like a mirage, a picture of something that is not really there at all. Our thoughts of lack, our feelings of unworthiness, our guilt and our fear, the appearance of the world attacking us, even our bodies themselves, all of them are illusions, mirages, symbols representing nothing. Sin is the home of all illusions. The idea of our inner corruption, our bent nature, houses every illusion. The thought of sin and guilt makes an environment that fosters and nourishes every illusion. What needs changing is that thought of the mind. Take away the thought of sin, and our illusions have no place to live. They simply fall down into dust. These illusions, which come from untrue thoughts and make sin their dwelling place, are the proof that what has no reality is real. Our bodies seem to prove to us that sickness and death are real, for instance. I'm getting soaking wet. Our senses seem to prove that pain is real. Our eyes and ears see all kinds of evidence of guilt, of the reality of loss, and of the weakness of love. And that's just this world, my ego trying to pull me from this, from the truth. The world seems to prove that either God does not exist or that He is angry with us. These things that our illusions seem to prove have no reality at all, and yet they seem real to us. All of this is housed in our belief in sin, and without that belief, they would simply cease to be. Thank you so much for joining with me in this lesson 255. And I like this. Pause, step back. Okay, 255. If I can get to it. This day I choose to spend in perfect peace. Thank you for joining with me. I love you.